the channel and welcome to our massive action camera shootout.
You know, watching that opening B-roll, that shot of all the cameras together, it reminded me of something that I've seen before. I know it's gonna come to me. By the way, how in the world did you record with 9 cameras at the same time with roughly the same view?
Filming with 9 cameras at the same time isn't something I would recommend. Here's the rig that it took to make this work, and making sure that the settings are correct for each camera and that each of them is actually recording, well, it's honestly a huge pain. Now, Keith, while you noodle on what the 9 tiles of video reminded you of, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our cameras, going head to head, well, you know what I mean.
You know, I think I would like to take this one.
Have at it, Hoss.
So, starting from the upper left, we have the DJI Pocket 3. Upper middle, we have the Fayutech Pocket 3. Of course, I'm assuming that's the way it's pronounced. On the upper right, we have Insta360 Ace Pro. Going down the middle from left to right, we have the Insta360 X4. In the middle center square is the Insta360 X3. And in the middle right, we have the DJI Action 4. Last but not least, along the bottom row, bottom left, we have Insta360 Go 3. Bottom center, we have Insta360 Go 3S. And then in the bottom right, we have GoPro Hero 12 Black.
Well, thanks for introducing the cameras for us, Keith. Before we get too far down the road into the video, I want to mention this video is sponsored by Audiio. They sponsored the teaser video for this one, and we decided they really deserved a longer video sponsorship, so we're including this one as well. We've used Audiio for all of our music and sound effects since the early days of our channel. We have a lifetime subscription and just added the lifetime elements upgrade. Audiio keeps bringing out new music, features, and functionality to the platform. If you need music and sound effects, you need Audiio. So, did you remember what our opening sequence reminded you of yet?
Well, not yet, but something did occur to me here. There is no way we can review 9 cameras in a single video, right? And in looking at these 9 cameras, not all of them are really technically even in the same category. Some are clearly action cameras, traditional action cameras, let's say, but some of them are not. And lastly, some have some kind of action camera traits, but are, for the lack of a better word, hybrids.
Well, except for not thinking of the video the opening reminded you of, those are all valid points. What do you say we show some feature comparisons, break down these cameras into categories, with some of the cameras possibly competing in multiple categories since their features overlap, and proceeding that way?
Okay, it sounds a little complicated, but I think I could be down with that. How are we going to determine what the best cameras are?
So I say we establish the categories I talked about, then we'll do head-to-head battles over multiple episodes until we have winners in each group. Then maybe we'll take the top cameras and do a final, if you had space for only one of these cameras, which one would you take episode.
Okay, so it'll be some kind of like NCAA tournament Elite 8 thing, except we have 9. So it'll be like a Hunger Games thing. No, wait. It'll be a Highlander style, won't it?
There can be only one.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, and for sure, Highlander.
Yeah, agreed. So let's think about this. Obviously, we need to have a pure action camera category, right? Which, let's just say it's rugged, it's good stabilization, waterproof, right? 5 meters at a minimum, and decent resolution and frame rates. Supported to be able to capture fast action type stuff, right? 4K 60, 1080 at 120 frames per second at a minimum.
Okay, yeah, that's great criteria for the action cameras. So, thinking of our, other cameras and how to describe them, especially, the 2 Pocket 3s that we have, the Fayutech and the DJI, we're going to have to come up with some kind of terminology to describe those, because they're not action cameras, but what what do we call those?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we go back to hybrid or gimbal cameras. I mean, they both have elements of action cameras, as you're kind of saying, but you're not taking these underwater, right? At least not without a diving case and stuff like that. And then you'd wonder, why didn't you just buy an action cam?
Okay, yeah, I could definitely be talked into that, and maybe we call it a hybrid gimbal camera. And in the case of the DJI Pocket 3, there isn't even an official underwater solution like the Feiyutech has available.
Okay, so how about the 360 cameras, right? How about we let them compete as action cameras, but also give them their own category of a 360 camera? Now, I know you only own the Insta360 units, but there are other manufacturers out there that have 360-degree filming capability or functionality. But Insta360 has kind of been the consumer level, gold standard for quite a while now.
Well, that also sounds good to me. And lastly, I think specialty camera might be a good one. That fits multiple cameras, and that way those cameras can compete in that category as well.
Yeah, I think I get it. So something with unique tricks up its sleeve, like the Insta360 Go series, being pretty small and able to be used in small spaces for creative filming.
Exactly, and that gives the Feiyutech another category to compete in, because really, since it separates into two different elements, the handle and the camera portion, the gimbal portion, this allows you to put this magnetically someplace or just on a mount, and then remotely control the view and start and stop recording with the remote handle.
Okay, so let's visually look at these groups that will compete against each other so our viewers know how the matchups will shake out.
Okay, so here is how the action camera category looks in no particular order. Go ahead and pause the screen here and read through the specs as long as you like. But the competitors that we have in this category are the DJI Action 4, the Insta360 Ace Pro, the Insta360 Go 3S, the Insta360 X4, the Insta360 X3, and the GoPro Hero 12 Black.
Okay, and now announcing the lineup of our gimbal hybrid camera category, we have the DJI Pocket 3 and the Feiyutech Pocket 3.
All right, and here are our 360 cameras. We have the Insta360 X4, followed by the Insta360 X3.
And lastly, here are the specialty cameras. The Insta360 Go 3, the Insta360 Go 3S, and again, the Feiyutech Pocket 3.
Okay then, our field is set. Now, what are your thoughts on where to start?
Well, I don't know. I think maybe we should do a kind of a smaller, easier one to get out of the way first. So perhaps we do the gimbal cameras, or maybe the 360 ones.
Oh, that sounds like a smart idea, Keith. So what do you say we do the 360 cameras first, so the X3 and the X4?
Okay, so I guess that means we have a plan. We'll announce the next group to go during that X3 versus X4 video. But I feel like we need to give the audience a little something more during this video.
Oh, interesting. So what do you have in mind there, Keith?
Well, so if you have to pick one camera, and only one camera from all of those, 9 cameras that you have with you to capture video, what do you choose?
Oh, that's going to be tough. These are all obviously good cameras, and each has its own strengths and weaknesses. My favorite camera to shoot with right now is the DJI Pocket 3, but if it involved water or activities that would be risky to the camera, I'd have to go with the DJI Action 4.
Come on, Bruce, you gotta pick just one.
Okay, I'll choose. Boy, ugh, this is really hard. But I think I'm going to grab the DJI Pocket 3. It's just so versatile, and the video quality is just beautiful.
Yeah, interesting. I guess it is good. You don't do a lot of extreme activities or take your camera in the water a ton. So that would make sense. I suspect if I told you you could have two, would it be the two DJI cameras?
Yeah, you know me pretty well. So I think this is a great place to wrap things up. Be sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, we'd appreciate getting a new regular viewer.
Yes, and to be a regular viewer, it sure helps to turn on all those notifications so that you know when new content is being released.
With that, you'll see Keith and Bruce in the next episode of Dad's Talk Tech.